Welcome back to Movie Recap Fox. Today I'm going to tell you about the 2011 sci-fi drama film, Time. Spoilers ahead, be warned. Salas lives in a world where people don't age. The human body has been genetically modified to evolve until age 25 and then stop, but there is a price to pay for a young body. Every human being is born with a clock face built into his or her arm. It marks how many years, hours, minutes or seconds he or she has left until death. The countdown starts at the age of 25. At this age the clock is turned on and a person is given 1 year of time. The rest of the time he has to earn. Time has become currency. The price for coffee is 4 minutes. Will gets a certain number of hours per workday as payment. In the time zone where Will lives, people don't have a lot of time. Usually no more than a day on the clock. Will lives with his mother and works in a factory that manufactures devices through which time is credited. Will's father died when he was 5 years old. He was killed for giving out time to people in his neighborhood. But today is his mother's birthday, so he gives her a bottle of champagne and goes to the factory. After work, he meets his friend Baron. At the bar he sees Henry Hamilton, a rich man with over 100 years on his watch. Henry gives away his time to everyone. Will notices that Henry is being watched over by the local robbers, whom everyone calls watchmen. They take people's time by force. Will tries to get Henry out of danger, but fails. For Heath and his gang arrive. Henry asks to go to the bathroom. Will drags him from there and they hide from the sentries, hiding in an abandoned factory building. After talking to Henry, Will realizes that Henry is terribly tired of his endless life. He has decided to commit suicide by giving all his time to another human. Will and Henry decide to spend the night at the factory. In the morning, while Will sleeps, Henry gives him most of his time, and he goes to watch the sunrise on the bridge. When his time runs out, Henry dies. Will wants to save him, but doesn't make it in time. After getting over 100 years of life, Will goes to his friend who has a wife and a young child. Will tells Borrell everything and then gives him 10 years. Rejoicing, Borrell goes to the bar. Will's mother is going home after work. The bus fare has gone up to 2 hours, and she only has 1.5 hours left. The driver does not give in to her entreaties to give the woman a ride on credit, and then suggests that she run home so as not to lose time. Will meets his mother at the bus stop, but when the bus arrives without her, he runs towards her. However, Will does not make it in time to reach his mother and replenish her time. She dies in his arms. Henry's corpse is fished out of the water by timekeepers led by Raymond Leon. Raymond has been on the force for over 50 years. He knew Will's father. Raymond quickly figures out that Henry has been robbed and we have to look for the robber on the surveillance tapes. Will is going to the rich man's time zone. He intends to destroy their entire system and avenge his mother's death. Henry Hamilton tells Will that there is so much time in the rich people's accounts that there is enough for everyone for the rest of their lives. Will checked into a nice hotel, paying for several years of the life of time. While checking in, he was spotted by Sylvia Wise, daughter of time magnate Philip Wise. She also observed Will during dinner, noting his unlike the other rich people. Will used to be a good poker player. He arrives at the casino and beats Philip Wise, for a large sum. After the game, Philip introduces Will to his daughter Sylvia. Will buys a sports convertible with the time he has won, and drives it to Wise's estate. Here he meets the whole family. However, he is only interested in Sylvia. The girl confesses that it is hard for her to live in this world, that she is constantly surrounded by guards, and she wants freedom and adventure. Will immediately offers her a nude swim in the sea. While they are swimming, the timekeepers arrive at the house. When Will and Sylvia return, Will is arrested and written off all his time, leaving only a couple of hours to fill out paperwork. They don't believe Henry Hamilton gave up the time himself. Will escapes from the guards by taking Sylvia hostage. Raymond chases them, but Will evades the chase. When he arrives in his neighborhood, he is involved in an accident. While Will and Sylvia are lying unconscious, for Heath and his gang show up. He takes almost everything from Sylvia, but fails to rob Will in time. In the distance, the sound of police sirens is heard, and for Heath runs away. When Will and Sylvia regain consciousness, they find that they have almost no time left. They try to borrow it from Will's friend, but find out that he went to a bar and drank himself to death. The woman grieves after her husband's death and blames it Will and chases him away. Will then returns Sylvia's earrings to a pawn shop and gets a couple of days for them. At gunpoint Will forces Sylvia to call her father. He demands that Philip transfer 1,000 years to a charity before the next morning. Then he lets the girl go. Waiting for the transfer, Will and Sylvia go to his apartment. They have a long talk, getting even closer. Morning has come, but the time has still not come to the charity's account. Will convinces Sylvia to call her father to pick her up from the ghetto. But then Raymond shows up. Who traced yesterday's call? He pulls a gun on Will. Sylvia sees this and shoots the timekeeper. She just wanted to scare him, but she hits him in the shoulder. Will shares time with Raymond to get to his own, and then steals his car. The two then stop a rich lady's car on the highway and rob her. He and Sylvia are put on the wanted list. The TV says they are acting in concert. Will teaches Sylvia how to use a gun, and then they rob the time bank. They give the loot to the people of the ghetto. The time guards track the couple down in a cheap hotel, but Will notices the police sirens in time. He and Sylvia escapes. Raymond chases after them. He almost catches up with them, but an accidental bus saves Sylvia and Will. This time the fugitives decide not to take any chances. They check into another hotel. Only this time they buy up all the rooms so no one can see them. However, another guest wants to check in right after them, and he notices them when he talks to the receptionist. The sentries stop a group of locals at the fence, including the man who saw Will with Sylvia. For Hiss wants to find the couple to punish them for robbing his territory. Because of Will, too many time guards have come to the neighborhood, and for Hiss and his gang can no longer rob people so easily. The man who spotted the fugitives tells for Heath where he saw them at night. The sentries break into Will and Sylvia's room. For Heath explains to Will the reason for his displeasure, and then offers to wrestle in time wrestling. The competition is to take time away from your opponent. Will agrees. He used to be good at it. Will almost lets Heath win, and then takes all his time for himself. For Heath dies, and while his associates are still in shock, Will kills them all with a gun hidden under his pant leg. He and Sylvia are on the run again. The corpses in the hotel are found by the time guards, led by Raymond. Will realizes that everything they've done to undermine the system has gone to waste. They are giving time away to people, and the banks are raising interest rates on loans to get that time back for themselves. Sylvia convinces him to continue, but Will says they need at least 1,000,000 years to break the system. Sylvia knows where to get it. The girl returns to her father, surrounded by a crowd of guards. While she is talking to Philip, Will sneaks up on him. At gunpoint, they take Philip to his apartment and crack the safe. Inside is a device with 1,000,000 years on the counter. Will and Sylvia take it and escape to the ghetto. The timekeepers see changes in the time zone map due to the theft of the 1,000,000 years. They try to stop the fugitives on their way to the ghetto, but they fail. Will and Sylvia break through to their time zone. Raymond chases them, but he is already running out of time. In the heat of the chase, Raymond missed his daily wage. Once in his time zone, Will gives the time device to a girl he knows so she can give it to a charity. The girl does so, and the charity begins to hand out the time to passers-by. Will and Sylvia are chased by Raymond. But in the confusion, they manage to escape. The timekeeper bypasses them. He stops them again, but his time is running out. The last seconds are running out, and Raymond dies. Will and Sylvia's time is also running out. Will realizes he can get 24 hours of the keeper, and runs to the car as fast as he can. Sylvia follows him. Will arrives first. He takes the time and rushes to Sylvia to give her half. He makes it at the last moment and saves the girl. The residents of the ghetto got a lot of time, crossing time zones and going to rich neighborhoods. The remaining timekeepers realize that in this chaos their service loses all meaning and it must be disbanded. Will and Sylvia are not going to stop there. They decide to take down the system. The two come to rob a new bank to give away time to the needy. That's it. Subscribe to the channel, get likes. Have a good one, everyone.